on this episode of the People of Pearland podcast.
Heat stroke, and they're like, do not hike in and out of the canyon in the same day, and we're like, that's exactly what we're going to do. You know?
Yeah. Stay tuned for more. Welcome everybody to this, the latest, if you're listening in chronological order or numerical order, excuse me, episode of the People of Pearland podcast. I'm your host, Josh Lee.
And I'm Joe Calderon.
And we have with us today Battalion Chief Michelle Braswell, who was gracious enough, even though she didn't really want to, come on the show and tell us all about what she believes is not very fascinating life. So we're excited to talk with you. I've always been slightly intimidated by you and very fascinated with you. And so we're excited to have you here.
I just heard that I intimidate you. That makes me feel bad. I wonder why.
Did you tell her that?
Oh, wow.
I don't know if I can put you put off an aura of like, it's confidence for sure.
Yeah.
But it's like I want to say like, don't mess with me. You know what I mean? Like, I get the feeling that if I cross you, it would end badly for me. You know what I mean?
That's interesting.
Are you like that?
I don't think so.
Have you ever hurt anybody? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Not intentionally. Well, not that I want to go into.
No, we don't want anything incriminating on here. No, I'm just kidding. No, I get the sense that, and tell me if I'm reaching on this, but I would imagine part of it's because of your professional upbringing in the fire service, that you have to have a, sort of a stoic, steeled demeanor. Or are you just like that?
No, I mean, I think it definitely comes in helpful in my job. But it's interesting you say that, because I was having a conversation with one of the firefighters this morning, and I almost attribute it to way back before the fire service. Said I grew up with two older brothers, and we were talking about that because I had a family picture in my office, and he's like, "Oh, is this your mom and dad and your brothers?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he said, "Oh, what's the age difference?" And I was telling him, "Oh, my brothers were so mean to me, And I said, but now I look back in hindsight, and I'm like, they were just getting me ready for my career,
Sure.
I mean, because you can't be too sensitive in the fire service.
That's fair. That's fair. And I think that, well, you met my youngest son, Henry. He's stone cold. He's the sweetest kid you've ever met in your entire life. Also the one that did MMA. And so, but he could do that because he had an older brother, and he had to be tough, from the very beginning.
Yeah. Well, and I grew up in the Midwest too, and I think there's like something in the Midwest. I mean, you can't be soft and survive in the Midwest.
Yeah.
You know.
Where in the Midwest?
Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What do you come from a family of firefighters, or?
Oh no. And I never intended to be a firefighter.
Really?
Yeah. I wanted to be a nurse. And I knew someone in high school who was an EMT. And so I was like, I can learn about the medical field and be a volunteer, be an EMT. So I went to the local volunteer fire department when I was 18 and walked in and asked them about being an EMT. And they're like, sure, we'll show you the ropes. And, hey, it's meeting night and we're cleaning the bay, so grab them up, Like, okay.
So they just put you to work, right?
Yeah, and they literally said, you ever think about being a firefighter? And I was like, no, never did. They said, well, we'll train you. And I was like, I've always been a tomboy, you know. I like being active.
Yeah.
Why not? I'll give it a shot. And did it total volunteer for 5 years, and then realized while I was trying to find my path in life, it's been right here in front of me this whole time. I'm doing it for free. I love it. So why not pursue it as my career?
So what is it that you love about, you love the EMT side or the fire side or both, or what's the draw? I
mean, I will say when I first joined, and I think a lot of people in the fire service will tell you that there's a part of us that we're adrenaline junkies.
Sure.
I mean, it's exciting, right? And then the added bonus, of course, helping people. I mean, that's where the medical side came in, and every day is different. I'm not a desk job, 8 to 5 type person, and so I enjoy being outside, meeting new people, and the variety of what the job brings.
Yeah. So you probably have ADHD.
Probably. I mean, I think we all do.
Right.
No. We joke about this a lot. I mean, I know I kind of bounce from thing to thing, but it's the variety of our jobs that keeps it fun and interesting.
sure, yeah.
Monotony is not a thing that I handle well, and so I can appreciate, being able to, you do this thing and then you do the same thing effectively. Firefighters and save people the same day, but it's a whole different. I'm sure you've never had the same scenario happen twice in your entire
never.
career.
And I always think that as long as I've been doing it, that I've seen everything.
No,
and every
yeah.
day I'm surprised. Like I can't even come up with some of the things that we see. I couldn't imagine them.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, wow. And sometimes it's,
That's terrifying.
situations with people at work too, right? Like I never would fathom that would happen. And here we are.
Yeah. Do you? I feel like it's a common thing. Most firefighters burned into their memory, no pun intended, is their first fire. Do you remember, or is there one that stands out to you, or the first time you ran into a burning building? Is it like, oh yeah, that was?
I don't.
Really?
Oh, really?
No, I do
Wow.
not remember my absolute
Because you've just been
first.
into so many.
No, I mean I remember training.
Yeah.
When I did the first live fire training and stuff like that, but I don't remember my first fire. But there are absolutely key incidents that stick out, right?
Really?
And some because I remember the first fire that when I was in the shower and I had to jump out and we were just talking about, having
How
a
your
shower
hair-
and stuff.
right.
Yeah. So I
So
remember
you
that
had to go
one.
there with soapy hair?
Oh,
or-
yeah. And I was new in the city that I worked at, so I was worried that I'd get beat out to the truck and
Right.
had to rush out there. But and then there's some that have negative outcomes, and of course, unfortunately, you always remember those too. So,
Yeah. I'm sure those stick with you.
yeah.
That's a big part of the job, I think. And we get exposed to it from time to time, much less frequently than you all do. But the trauma, the trauma that comes along with tragedy and how far that sticks around. We had a conversation about it last year at Tamio for public information officers specifically. One of the questions that I got from the audience is, how do you cope with exposure to traumatic incidents? And I said, you need to look for your EAP, your employee assistance programs, and take advantage of those. But you need a network too.
Right.
You need a group of people that you can share those stories with, because if you keep it bottled up, it's
For sure.
brutal. And so I mentioned that because I know you all work as a crew. I can imagine that a lot of those experiences, you sort of trauma bond together, or you get galvanized together through sort of those things. Is that part of the family aspect of firefighting, or what's the real draw to that, or what makes that happen?
Well, we were actually talking about that just this morning. I was at training that the fire department provided, and it was he was talking about the difference between civility training and what is violations of the law, right?
Yeah.
And even though something may not necessarily be civil, it's not a violation of the law, right? And he was talking about just sometimes the sense of humor in the fire station may not be an appropriate sense of humor in the office.
Right.
And unfortunately, sometimes when you deal with traumatic situations, you blow off steam through humor, right? That someone who is not exposed to
Dark
it may
humor
think,
sometimes.
yeah,
Right.
may
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
"Oh, man, they're a bunch of cold individuals, But I think, so I think the initial outlet there is kind of tailboard bonding, right? We come back and we reevaluate calls and we discuss calls and what went well and what we could have done better. And I think that
Y'all do
helps
that every
you.
time?
Not every time, but on critical incidents we do. And so I think that helps with coping. And then, unfortunately, like I said, sometimes our dark humor is a coping mechanism. But,
Yeah.
we also are very fortunate to have a lot of built-in support here, not only through EAP, but we have a fire department peer support team. We're overseen by a psychologist, Dr. Dunkel,
Oh, okay.
and she oversees our team. But the members on the
kind
team are peer support.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's makes sense that you would have that, and I think we're really fortunate here, especially you see it on the PD side with Dr. Z, where they have a therapist on site, and to have a uniformed officer that is also a licensed therapist, I think is probably a really unique feature.
Oh, I think it's very rare, sure.
And hopefully that bleeds over into the fire side, and there's camaraderie there. I had who was I talking to? Somebody was asking me today if the rivalry between police and fire was legitimate or fun. I can't remember. Oh, I think it was maybe the customer service people.
Oh, gotcha.
And I said, I think it depends on the scenario. It's all in good humor. It's all one city, one team. Y'all respond to a lot of the same things together. And at the same time, it wouldn't be a good idea to have the two departments in a field day because everybody would get hurt.
Oh, it would be very competitive.
Is like even within your own teams, I mean, is everybody that competitive or?
I think it comes partly with the people that are drawn to the fire service because most of us are type A personalities, right?
Yeah.
And so we're going to be
Athletes
a little bit
in high school and
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, because you have to have, like you said, that confidence and assertiveness, which then causes some friction sometimes when you put a bunch of us in the room together. But for the most part, it's just a fun level of competition. Every station thinks they're the best station. Every shift thinks they're the best shift. My shift's the only one that's right. So,
Which shift are you on?
A shift.
A shift. Well, yeah, it's the first one. Yeah.
There you go.
And you're, as a battalion chief, you're over all of A shift, or how does that work?
Yeah. So,
So you work the same schedule they do.
I do. We have
So
3
it's-
shifts, A, B, and C.
Yep.
We work a 48-96, so we're on 2 days, and then we're off for 4 days.
And it's 2 days straight. It starts at, 6 a.m.?
6 in the morning. Mm-hmm.
And then goes to 6 a.m. 2 days later, basically.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then we have each station has a company officer who's
Okay.
responsible for the station and that immediate crew. And then those company officers here, they're called lieutenants, they report to the shift commander, which
I
is
see.
me for A shift.
Gotcha. And so how do you split your time between stations? Do you just kind of hop from station to station and then...
I try to make rounds every other tour. So,
Okay.
like, physically go to the different stations and see every crew every other tour. But we also have a lot of administrative responsibilities that take time as well. So it's a balance.
Do you have a home station?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm stationed at Station 4.
Okay. So right there at the Freedom Drive complex.
Yeah.
Of course, the newest station probably got the nice stuff.
It is a nice station. We're very spoiled.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
oldest son just started for a different city, who will remain unnamed because I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. But it's a big city in this area, and their stations are not nearly as
Oh, wow.
nice.
Really?
And he just started, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, we have this common dorm. There's a ladder truck there, an engine, a medic, and a basic ambulance.
Oh my
So
gosh.
4 units at the same station. And
Wow.
if any of them get a call, the lights go on in the dorm for everybody."
Oh, my
Wow.
goodness.
So,
Y'all
we
are all
have
separated.
we have little niceties, right? Where we
Yeah.
have separate dorms. We have a selector keypad in the dorm where we can select what unit we want to be alerted in that dorm.
Interesting.
So, like, I can just push my button and not have to listen to the ladder truck go,
Right.
Yeah.
wherever they're going or whatever.
So, but you get called out for every call?
No, as the shift commander, I respond on the higher acuity calls.
Okay, I see.
Mainly when there's multiple apparatus, life lights, rollover, pin in accidents, structure fires, hazmat calls.
But I
things
mean,
like that.
we're a big enough community. You say pretty busy.
I would say the majority of my time, honestly, is administrative duties.
Really?
More so than I would like. But
I was gonna say you sign up for all this adrenaline. And
yeah.
You just like give yourself a paper cut every now and then just to
No,
feel something. Or?
I mean, as you move up through the ranks, that fulcrum starts to shift a little
Right.
bit,
Yeah.
But I still enjoy it because
it's an
also
unintended expectation. I mean, I can see how that works. It's the nature of any
absolutely.
industry. Sorry,
Yeah.
continue.
Well, but also as I've come up through the ranks, not only has the shift happened between administrative and running emergencies, but with that comes the responsibility of taking care of the people on the shift.
Right.
And I'm a people person.
leading.
Yeah, I mean, my crew and everybody in the department. I mean, our employees are our most important asset,
Sure.
and so I take that very seriously. So I enjoy doing that.
It actually, I mean, that's one of the reasons we started this whole thing. But one of the things that we talk about all the time, in the way I think about it, our operations and maintenance budget for the city, $127 million, give or take, 75% of it goes to people. The majority of it goes to public safety. They're our largest departments, but still, people, salaries, benefits, wages, things like that, because the city of Pearland, the organization that makes the community, doesn't exist without the people doing the jobs.
Sure.
And when it comes to we look at Pew Research, they do an annual trust in government survey. It's declining over time, naturally. Fewer people, and it's at the federal level, but it bleeds down to the
Right.
local level. And at the local level, it's, to me, very unfair for people to say, I don't trust the government, because they're saying, I don't trust people, the people that work here, the 930 employees that make Pearland so special. And that's downright hurtful.
Yeah.
And so we like to point out as much as we can that there are real human beings, actual people that are doing these jobs. And you see it, I mean, on both sides of the fence. You see the people that work here, and you see the people on some of their probably worst days in this community. So being a people leader in this organization, where did you, who taught you, who's your inspiration for being a leader? Who do you follow?
Well, first, my dad, right? My parents. I think we all learn a lot from our parents. But as far as professionally, there was a man in Missouri City. His name was Steel Powers. And talk about
What a good name.
What a
That's what I'm
great
saying.
name.
Talk about a superhero
Nice.
name, right? And before I went to Missouri City, I was scared of Steel because his reputation preceded him. Like,
wow.
he was a real hard nose.
Sure.
Right?
She was going to say ass.
I was. I was looking at you for approval. But then...
Sorry, I didn't pick up on that.
But then I came over to Missouri City, and I got the opportunity to work for him. And he just, I mean, he was a great leader. Like, he had high expectations of people, but people were scared of him because they didn't do their job. As long as you did your job, he was the most supportive and caring and kind leader. And, I mean, he's passed years ago, but still was very influential in my career.
So I guess you have high expectations for your crews then?
I think so, but I also think that I'm very reasonable,
Sure.
you know.
They need clarity of vision, but they also need support.
Right.
That's a difficult balancing act, and that intersection of accountability and compassion can be. It's interesting to me from a humanistic perspective. You know, and I've experienced this with employees in the past. We're on different playing fields when it comes to that intersection. They think they're doing fine, or they think that I should be more compassionate than I am, and I am square in where I'm thinking. And I think that foundational leadership comes through how you navigate those situations to get to a better place.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, we're still dealing with people that have their own lives, that have struggles, that, you know, have imposter syndrome sometimes. I mean, you know, all sorts of different things.
Well, I think
And we
one
still
of
have a
the
job to get done.
I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
One of the challenges we face in the fire service sometimes is that we are so tight knit because we spend a lot of time together and we have to navigate unique situations together that it's harder to hold people accountable because if you have to discipline an employee in communications, 5 o'clock you go home. You're having dinner with your family, right? In the
And
fire
you're having dinner with
department,
this person
you
that you-
discipline them. You're sitting down with them
Right.
at dinner, having dinner together.
You think it makes it harder or
But,
easier?
I think some people feel like it makes it harder, but
Yeah.
that was the point I was going to make. For me, it makes it easier because I feel like if I don't hold them accountable or if I don't help show them what's expected or, you know, help them along the way, I'm doing a disservice
Sure.
to them, you know,
Absolutely.
because taking care of your people is not always giving them what they want.
Right.
You know,
Right.
taking care of them is making sure that they have the tools they need, they're headed the right direction and supporting them along the way. And sometimes you got to, you know, bounce them back in between the lines when they start to get out of the lines a
Sure.
little bit. So.
Yeah, I realized, I think, early in my career that, you know, the days of working for one organization your entire career are very rare nowadays. And I worked in the private sector, and so I bounced around from place to place. And, I mean, professionally speaking, it was the only way to grow up. And so when I think about my employees, I think about long-term marketability, right? When they're with me, they should be developing skills that are beneficial not only for the organization and the job they're in now, but also for their long-term career. If I'm not helping them achieve those things, then to that point, I'm doing them a disservice.
Yeah.
I love for them to stay their entire careers here, but either way, they should be growing.
And it's very similar to raising your kids, right? I mean,
Sure.
you want to see your employees learn and grow and be successful and move, you know, surpass you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's no different than with your kids. You want them to grow and be productive members of society and move on.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, I mean, to me, that's a sign of success. When my people promote and are doing good, then I feel like I've done my job.
Yeah, for sure. So you said you have kids.
I do.
Are they all in the fire service? Are they all following a mom's footsteps?
No,
or?
no, just one. So I have a total of 5 kids, 2 that were mine and 3 stepchildren.
Okay.
Their ages range from 16 to 24. So
Fun.
the 24-year-old is a firefighter.
Okay,
It is
okay.
fun. The 24-year-old is a firefighter. He's got probably about 2 years, and like I said, he just started in a new department.
Yeah.
So that's super exciting because his dad was a firefighter as well.
Oh, cool.
So
Awesome.
yeah, my kids lost their father when they were 9 and 13.
Oh,
And
man.
so he's actually working for the same department that his dad did. So I mean,
That's very
Wow.
cool.
yeah. And I was able to just last week go pin his badge on, and I mean, it was a
Oh, that's
Man,
awesome.
proud
super
moment.
important,
Yeah.
proud moment.
So he's 24. So that would have been,
Mm-hmm.
that would have been like 11 years ago. So I bet there's probably people in that department that knew your husband.
Oh, a
That are
lot.
seeing your
Wow.
son.
And it's
Oh.
funny. He says, I can't go anywhere and someone not know you or
Yeah.
new
Yeah,
dad.
yeah.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, first of all, he was working in Fort Bend County, which is where I had spent the majority of my career. I was like,
No
don't go to
kidding.
Fort Bend
Yeah.
County.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, we don't have
Stay
a
out.
last name like Jones or Smith. I mean, you're not going to hide.
Yeah, there aren't
So-
that many Braswells, I guess, huh?
Yeah. And now, I mean, I guess it doesn't
That's
matter.
so
Now he's in
cool.
Houston, right?
Yeah.
And that's where his dad had been for 20 years. So
Interesting.
Man.
he comes home he's only worked 3 days, but every day he's come home. I met so-and-so that knew dad. I know
Yeah.
so-and-so that met new dad. So
But what a
But-
great legacy.
Yeah. No, I was going to say the 5 years volunteering back home. What got you to Texas? What was what brought you down
So
here?
I actually came to Texas before that. My parents worked for Enron.
Oh,
And
wow.
they got transferred down here in '86.
Okay.
And that was, not to date myself, somebody's going to do the math, but that's before I started high school,
Yeah.
and the summer before I started high school. So they stayed here until after I graduated, but they hated the heat. So they said, well, we're going to go back to Omaha. And I said, I like the big city. I want to stay here. And
And I guess you didn't mind the heat because
I didn't mind the heat, yeah. So I stayed, and my mom says, man, I look back in hindsight, and I cannot believe we did that.
Yeah.
But she said, but we did talk, and we're like, we're not going to give her any money because it'll be hard for her, and then she'll come home. I never fathomed it. I
Yeah.
mean, my car got a mechanic's lien on it because I didn't pay the mechanic bill one
Oh,
time. I
man.
mean, I
Yeah.
never asked my parents for
Yeah,
money,
right,
you know?
yeah.
I mean, we lived off of ramen, and
Just bootstrapped your way up. Huh?
yeah, I
Love
mean,
that.
it was fine.
That's
So,
amazing.
but so then I started volunteering after they went back to Omaha.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
I was 18 at the time.
Okay. Gotcha.
And that's how I had met my first husband. So he was a firefighter, so he was supportive of it. When I finally had the epiphany, I was
Right.
like, man, I've been doing this for free and, going from job to job trying to find what I want to do. And he's like, I said, but I don't know what we'll do when we have kids. And he said, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yep.
So when y'all had kids, you were both full-time firefighters?
Yeah.
So you just had to split your shifts and...
Well, we don't get to choose our days. So there were, now he worked for Houston and they have a different rotation. So there were like 3 days out of the month where our 24-hour shifts overlapped. And we were super fortunate to have, family or neighbors or friends that would watch the kids. So
That's the... I've had a regular job for so long, it's been the most sporadic here because of special events and disasters and things like that. But having a regular schedule that is 48 hours straight and then 4 days off would be, I don't know. Do you ever get used to it, or do you?
Oh, absolutely. I can never work Monday through Friday.
Really?
I mean, in my whole adult life, the only time I have was when I was on light duty because I was pregnant, and I did one short stint as the interim assistant chief, and that was my first desk job.
Right.
And I was like, this is terrible. How does anybody ever get anything done? I can't go to the grocery store. I can't Christmas shop because everybody else is out Christmas shopping. And no, I mean, my schedule really appeals to me. Like, I feel bad for y'all,
Yeah, no, I feel bad for me too now. But I mean, it takes a mindset shift, I think. And I mean, I guess I could see getting used to having 4 days off pretty quickly, I
Right.
suppose.
Yeah.
Dang.
I don't know many firefighters, though, that don't work at least one other job.
I was about to
Yeah.
say.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll
that's-
say, so I'm married again now, and my husband and I got married 3 years ago, and I remember when we met, I had 3 jobs at the time.
Oh my gosh.
And after we got married, my
What?
mom's like, you're a newlywed,
Yeah.
why don't you
Yeah.
just have one job? And I was like, because I never have, had just one job.
So what do you do what are the other jobs? Are they working
the
for
ti-
other departments? Or
At the time, I was teaching at a local community college at their
Okay.
fire academy. I was there for 19 years, and then working.
College of the Mainland, or
No, I lived out in Cyprus, so I was
okay,
working for
okay.
Lone Star, the
Oh,
Cypher
cool.
campus.
Yeah.
And then I was also working for another department working in their training division.
Wow.
Very cool.
Yeah. But I mean, now that I have 4 days off, I'm like, this is great.
This is-
I'm
Yeah.
getting so much more done around
Right.
the house.
I feel like I'd probably get in trouble
Yeah, you probably would.
if I had
can
that
see
much time on my hands. Like, there aren't enough projects in the world to keep me busy for that amount of time.
That's fun.
So what, what do I feel like firefighters in their off time? They're like, they own a pressure washing business, or they build fences, or what's a common?
I think the most common one is people work at other departments.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of departments that still have part-time firefighters.
In the
but
skills transfer directly.
I try to discourage my son from doing that, though, because I think you can get burnt out. Even though it's another department and it's different people, the scenery is different, you're still doing the same thing. So, I'd like to encourage him to pick up something else like that, like
Diversified.
a lawn care business, or
Right.
building fences or something. But
Interesting.
yeah. But so I want to circle back around to the rest of my kids.
Let's do
So,
it. Yeah,
I don't want to focus on just
Sorry.
one.
Right.
So my 4 others. So the next oldest is my husband's son, Jack. So my stepson, Jack, and he is 21. He's a college student at U of H.
Nice.
And then
Go
I have to
Cougs.
do them in order. And then my daughter, Mary, she's turning 21 in 2 days.
Happy
Wow.
birthday, Mary.
And Mary is living in Austin and just doing Mary things. So she's not going to school right now, but I'm hoping she'll go back soon. And
Everybody
then
finds their own path.
that's right. And that's what she's doing, is finding her path. And then Zach is the next youngest, and he just graduated from high school, and he's starting
cool.
U of H in the spring.
Wow.
And
That's
then the youngest, Kate, she's still in high school. She'll be a junior this year at Cinco Ranch. So,
Man.
yeah.
I think I've Cinco Ridge. I think I've played golf out there before. You have golf course out there?
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really nice place. Great area of town.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where
Um,
their mom lives, so I'm not super familiar with all of the Kate
okay,
area,
yeah.
but it's very nice.
Yeah.
That's really awesome, and that's a fun age to have kids in, because you can go out to have dinner with them, and maybe you don't have to pay every time.
Yeah, we're getting to that age. Yeah, that's one of the perks, but
but
they're
that's a
they're
good
all
spread.
good kids. So
That's awesome. And staying local for college, I think that's looking back on my own personal experience. Like, I don't know what I had. When I graduated high school, I had no plans whatsoever, and I did junior college for the first 2 years, and my sister was going to Sam Houston, and I was like, she can get in there, I can get in there. And so I ended up doing that, but I never even considered the University of Houston. And I don't know why. It's a fantastic school, great programs there. And I've gone back and spoken to some of the communications classes, and they have great. I mean, it's way different than when I was in school, for sure. But it's a great system. I mean, between the downtown, which they're all different, but Clear Lake downtown and the main campus, I mean, it's everything you could ever want, right? And then you don't have to pay for room and board.
I
Or-
know,
yeah.
or out of state tuition.
Yeah.
Right.
Or, yeah.
Yeah. It's wild to me. So I appreciate all the education opportunities that we have. I mean, the Houston area is great. It has all sorts of things, but it's growing up here. I'm kind of partial to it. So you still live on the northwest side of town, or you live?
We
y'all-
actually just moved.
Oh, nice.
So,
Cool.
yeah, my husband and I bought what was going to be a short-term rental house
Okay.
down on the beach in Surfside. That's why I was asking you where
Wow.
you were going fishing.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
when we bought it, it'll be 2 years in October, and we did keep it as a short-term rental for a while.
Yeah.
And I like the beach too
Yeah.
much, and so recently upped and moved, and that's been a huge change because I've been, in Cyprus since I was 14 when my parents moved here.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah. So not to tell you how old I am, but that was a long
Right,
time.
right.
And I had great neighbors. I lived in a wonderful master plan community that when I moved in there, it was brand new. And so everybody was moving in.
Right.
And all our kids were about the same age in the
That's
cul-de-sac.
awesome.
And our kids grew up together. We spent a lot of time together.
Yep.
And so I was like, I left a big part of my heart there,
Yeah.
with all my
Yeah,
neighbors
yeah.
and stuff. But I
the
love the
beach
beach.
calls
And
you
it's,
home, huh?
yeah, it's been a
How
good
cool.
move for us. So we literally just moved in end of May.
Wow.
That's
So
awesome.
It's
Very cool.
It's really new.
Congratulations.
But thanks. Yeah, I spent
Uh,
all last week. I was outside painting my fence, and I was like, I can hear the ocean, and if I go up on the balcony, I can see the ocean, and that's just kind of my zen place.
Yeah. The older I get, the more just like salt water. If I can just put my feet in the water
Same. Yeah.
and the nice breeze.
Yep.
I like saltwater fishing myself.
Well, and I tell you the other thing is that, I mean, I loved the neighborhood that I lived in, but every place is getting so congested and so overgrown. And, you know, at the time, the house was a great house because I had a young family and we were raising kids. But now I'm at the point where it's just my husband and I, and there's this big old house. I never go upstairs, you know,
Sure.
and so it was like too much to have to maintain the house. We weren't using it, and you know, going down to the beach, I mean, we downsized by like half the size.
Wow.
So that was difficult because I'm
Offloading it.
not a hoarder or anything, but I mean, I had a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, you know, being able to go sort through everything and decide what you're going to keep and not keep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But it makes it
But it's
simpler
been a good
life
move.
too.
Yep.
And I guess your walking distance from the beach, it sounds like.
Oh, for sure. Like 3 minutes.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
That'd be
So,
amazing.
but I've enjoyed not having all the traffic and just having like a simpler lifestyle, you know? I mean,
Yeah. Because you can just come up 35 or 288 or something. Or
that was one of the deciding factors on where we were going to buy, is because literally when I leave work and I go up Broadway to go home to my house in Cypress, it was, you know, 51 miles or whatever.
Yeah.
To go to the beach house, it's 52 miles.
Right.
And
With
so
no
it was
traffic.
just equal distance, you
That's
know.
so
and
funny.
so, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Which Surfside's a different place, you know. I mean, it's not the bubble that I lived in before,
No.
but
Yeah.
it's cool. I've really enjoyed it.
There are some, like I have a great. I mean, we grew up going to Galveston beaches, and for anybody that you know has never visited Galveston, but has visited other beaches, they are like, oh, Galveston, blah. And I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, don't talk about my beach like that.
Yeah.
We did have some kids this summer that came down from Kansas who had never been to a beach before.
Oh, they probably loved it.
They loved every minute of it. And it's one of those things, you know, like I'll never not have a good time going anywhere down there. And I'm talking like San Leon all the way to the pass. You know, I every community is so interesting and unique, and there are so many just sort of free spirits down
Oh
there,
yeah,
I feel
it's
like.
a different lifestyle for sure. It's
is.
fun. Yeah. No, we'll wake up on a Sunday and I'll just ask my daughter, "Do you want to go to the beach today?" I love
Yeah.
that we're just 50 miles away from it because it's just something we can go do so quickly.
How old is your daughter?
I've got a 5-year-old and a 2.5-year-old, and she's like in her swimming phase, like she's living for it. So
I remember when I first moved here, we hadn't moved into our house yet, and it was like a Tuesday, and they had wanted to go to the beach, and I was like, all right, after work today, we're going to go to the beach.
Yeah.
And then at like 5 o'clock, there was a shooting at the Walmart, officer-involved shooting,
Oh, no.
and so I'm like, ugh, I gotta go. So I went over that, and we did our whole media thing, and we wrapped up there about 7:30, and so got home, and they were like, "Are we going to the beach?" And I was like, "You know what? Let's do it."
yeah.
And we still made it down there before the
Before
sunset.
the sun- yeah.
Like, I mean,
Nice.
we're so close to, you know,
Yep.
and there's something special about just being able to
Yeah.
hop down there. And like Saturday, we're going to go, you know, we'll get down there early in the morning and we'll be back before probably 1 o'clock in the afternoon with a, hopefully, ice chest full of fish. So, you know.
Dinner.
Yeah. That's the idea. I always joke, like, I'm going to go catch us some dinner. Like, it didn't cost me, you know, an arm and a leg to go do
Right.
it. It's like
Would have
the
been
most
way
expensive
cheaper to go to
fish.
the grocery store and buy a
Yeah.
fish. Yeah, but I mean the
But we like
experience
to
and the
pretend.
time together.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And that's the we grew up outdoorsy. You know, I come from a family of hunters by trade. Not that we're professional hunters, but that's the thing that we've always done. My dad, my uncle are Boy Scouts, and I've been sitting in a deer stand since I was 3, and so hunting and fishing and just being outside is where we find our happy place.
Yeah.
It just happens to cost a lot of money to do the things that we want to do. We pick some of the most expensive hobbies possible.
Did you say your son's name is Henry? Is that right?
My youngest son, yeah, Henry.
Yeah. So I mean, he's 10 and he's still not too cool to hang out with you. You know.
Yeah.
So you have to do it before he thinks he's too cool to hang out with Dad.
Right.
No,
you know,
you're-
because that happens.
You're absolutely right, and I'm experiencing that. I have a 14-year-old as well, and so we're getting to that age. And like just last night, I had to. He was in the kitchen unloading the dishwasher with his girlfriend on FaceTime, and 10 o'clock hits, and that's cut off for electronics time to go to bed, and so he knows it's 10 o'clock, right? And he doesn't do anything about it, and so I had to go, girlfriend, it's Ben's bedtime. He's gonna hang up now, and he's like, "God, why do you want to do that?"
So embarrassed. How could you do that to me?
But he knows that Dad don't play. I will embarrass you.
Well, I tell you
As
what,
a
I
means
grew
to
up
an
with a
end.
dad that didn't play. He would, now this wasn't the time of cell phones, right?
Right.
So my room was upstairs when I was in high school, and he would pick up the phone in the kitchen. Michelle, get off the phone.
Yep.
It's time to hang up. And I'm like, Dad, it's 9 o'clock. And if I argued with him, he'd hang up.
Yeah.
He'd come upstairs. He brought a pair of scissors in, cut the
Oh,
phone
man.
cord, and he'd walk out. So, I mean, that's not playing.
Oh,
No,
you know?
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
I
so funny.
appreciate
I
that.
look at him now and I see like how he is with, I mean,
Yeah.
with all his grandkids, right? And I'm like, I tell my kids, the grandpa that you know
It's not
is
the dad.
not the dad I grew up with.
Yeah.
I mean, not at
that's
all.
I don't know what they
So,
drink between like being a
Right?
parent and being a grandparent, but you're like,
They get all soft.
yeah.
Yeah.
They lose all sensibility, and you're like,
Yep.
okay. I can't wait until I have grandkids so I can spoil them too.
There you go. I mean, I can't wait, but I am going to wait
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
they're all
Yeah.
too young still. So.
Yeah. Yep.
So you're 4 days off. What do you do? What's Michelle do for fun?
I don't know. I mean, I like to stay busy, right? So my husband and I work out a lot. I recently picked up running again. I hadn't been running in a long time, and I've been running on the beach in the morning, which I
that's
find very
lovely. Yeah.
peaceful and relaxing, and I enjoy it.
It's not too hot out there.
No, I go early, so I try and get out there before and during the sunrise and
Yeah.
run then. And there's always a breeze, so it feels good.
That's good.
And then, yeah, I mean, I just like doing projects, I mean, spend time with family. I mean, family's definitely a priority to me as well.
And they're all still very local, very.
All of the kids except for my daughter. My daughter's in Austin,
Oh,
but
right,
the
right.
rest are in
You said that,
Katy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and my son has his own house in Katy, and so yeah, I'd like to see them as much as we can. But I mean, they're at the age where they're all busy now too.
Yeah. Yeah.
We enjoy traveling. We just bought a fifth wheel,
Nice.
so we haven't used it yet, but it's a multi-purpose because like I didn't have a problem owning a house on the coast when it was a vacation home.
Yep.
But now that we live there,
Right.
it seems a little more real in hurricane season. And
Sure.
I mean, I'll be at work, but I wanted to make sure that if I wasn't, and even if I am, that my husband has some place to go.
Right.
So that's
So you
the
can just
fifth
hook
wheel
up
is.
and drag that out. And,
Well, we have it in storage, but yeah, we would go move it somewhere so he could stay there during the storm.
Nice.
And then we're going to use it for traveling as well.
Cool.
So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
My best friend, they're getting into being camper people, and they want us to be camper people, and I'm like, I don't think we're there yet. Like, we'll camp with you,
Yeah.
like we'll go, but because it's a lot of work. I mean, pulling that thing around, you really have to mentally prepare yourself for
Oh,
it.
for sure. We've only used a camper once. We rented one and did a trip to the Grand Canyon and to Zion and went hiking.
cool.
And I mean, that was one of the best trips we've ever done. That was super.
Yeah.
So
Did you hike down in the Grand Canyon?
we did. Funny you should ask. I mean, I don't remember the names of the paths, but like my husband I want to go touch the Colorado, is it the Colorado River
Yeah.
that formed it? Okay. He's
Yeah.
like, I want to touch the water. And I'm like, why can't you just see it? Like, let's hike down, and he's like, I want to feel what made the
You can
canyon.
touch the water up there that
And
goes
I'm-
down into
yeah.
Colorado.
Yeah, I'm like, but we can just go halfway down and see it. But
Oh,
we
man.
did. We hiked all the way down, and I don't remember the trails, but originally we were going to go down and back up the same
Yeah.
path. And we ran into a park ranger on the way down, and we packed water and stuff like that. And he's like, no, you really need to go up this other path because it has water on the trail, and the one that
Wow.
you came down doesn't. And you're going to drink way more than you think. And I mean, they have these signs. Have you ever hiked the Grand Canyon?
Yeah.
They have these signs of people, throwing up because heat stroke, and
Yeah.
they're like, do not hike
Yep.
in and out of the canyon in the same day. And we're like, that's
'Cause the
exactly what we're going to do.
altitude change, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard one of my dad's neighbors. She does a lot of national parks through the summertime, and she's done rim to rim, south to north, all in I think they did it in a day. It was a 14-hour hike, 21 miles, and another thing that they don't recommend.
Yeah.
We had the boys with us, so we did 1.5 miles in to Ooh-Ah Point. I do remember.
And
that.
you said, ooh, ah.
Yeah, it was.
I think we
it
passed
was
that.
past Ooh-Ah maybe, but it was. We did it in the wintertime, which was super sketchy because it was snowy on top,
Oh, wow.
and then the snowpack would start to melt, and you'd have muddy trails,
Oh, wow.
and then when we got all to our stopping point, it was dry.
Well, we have a couple members in the fire department that have done a rim to rim run.
Wow.
And
Oh,
they
what?
they posted their video on YouTube somewhere. I'll send you the link.
Oh, I
Yeah,
want to
I
see
wanna
that.
see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
That's
mean, that's
terrifying.
insane.
Yeah.
But
I
it
was
was
worried
beautiful.
about the kids getting blown off the edge because they tell you like don't let your kids get too close to the edges because
Right.
the wind shear will just
And parts
So-
of the trail are really steep too.
yeah
Yeah.
they're a little sketchy sometimes
But
but
it's
it is
gorgeous,
a
though.
great place to hike. I want to go down and stay in the hotel on the bottom.
That'd be neat.
It's really hard to get into because it's so small and it's I think they just have a lottery system
Okay.
and I mean it's very primitive now but pretty exclusive place to stay. I just think it'd be a neat experience, but I like that place.
I like Zion better.
Really?
Yeah. If you've never been to Zion,
Never been.
Zion
never
is
been there.
beautiful, and Zion has some really cool hikes.
Hmm.
We did one, the Narrows. You're hiking up a riverbed, and
Wow.
half of it, I mean, you're in water. You have to wear waders, and
Oh, wow.
sometimes it comes up over the waders. And
Yep.
but I mean, it's a super cool hike. And then there's, I want to say Angels Landing, maybe, that is a lottery system. That's like a super narrow on the cliff type.
Where is Zion? That's in Arizona or Utah?
Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never. I do want to do that one. We've done. Well, we did a little bit of casual hiking at Mesa Verde last summer. We did the cliff dwellings,
Oh, that's cool.
which was really cool. But most of the trails were pretty casual. I mean, we had the kids and stuff with us, so we're not like super advanced. Probably the most we've ever done. Have you ever done? I'm going to say it incorrectly, and Megan Nelson's going to give me a hard time about it. But Paladura Canyon in near Amarillo,
No,
second largest canyon in the country,
really.
right here in Texas.
We'll have to put it on the list.
And there you can hike like anywhere.
Yeah.
You can just like, oh, I'm going to go this way, and
Oh.
it is shocking. I mean, the what you can get yourself into sometimes is a little
Oh,
scary
I bet.
sometimes.
But I mean, you say right here in Texas, like that's close. I mean,
It's about a
Oh,
12
right,
hour.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a 12-hour drive.
Yeah.
Because it's way up in the Panhandle.
Right.
But it is beautiful up
Yeah.
there. And then Big Bend.
Yeah.
Have you ever been there?
nope. We just started the whole hiking,
Oh,
camping
nice.
thing,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we have a lot of
Try it.
places on our list to
Yeah.
go.
Big
I-
Ben, definitely. Stay in Terlingua. That'll be. That's an experience, but Big Ben is beautiful. There's so many different spots on Big Ben that are worth checking out.
I've never been to Big Bend. We're going in. Actually, with my camping friend, we're dragging his camper out there for the Terlingua Chili Cook-Off.
There you go. Yeah.
In November.
Trying to figure out how I can fit myself in.
I think
on
we
that
can
trip.
squeeze you in. I think we can make this work. But we're taking little motorcycles, so we're gonna
Oh, that'll be fun.
put around the back roads of Big Bend, and then I want to do a full hiking trip back there.
Yeah.
But you know, you can rent a camper, right? Just like a VRBO.
Right.
They'll even set it up for you.
Yeah.
That's
so I mean, you
nice.
can rent one and have it parked next to where he's
Oh,
going to
yeah,
be, and
that's a
then just
good-
show up.
That's a good idea.
It's a good idea.
Okay.
You just have to do the 12-hour drive to get out there.
Right. Yeah.
Fly out there.
Yeah, there you go.
Huh.
I don't know if there's an airport. I don't even know where there would be an airport close by.
There's got to be something.
Something. Terlingua's in the middle, literally, of nowhere,
Nowhere.
Yeah.
which is part of what appeals to me about it.
Nice.
Yeah, if you need recommendations for camping spots, at least in Texas, we got you covered.
Well, I will let you know. We had one scheduled last week, but we ended up having to cancel it. So I mean, it was nowhere exciting. We were going to go to Lake Houston and just do a practice, like dry run,
Oh,
setting
cool.
up the RV and
Yeah,
all that.
yeah.
But then something came up and we had to cancel. So
Yeah.
hopefully we don't need it for a storm before we get to practice with
Right.
things. But,
What my friend, the thing he's experiencing, they did a couple of short trips. Like they went to Noscala up in Lake Navasota. No, not Navasota. What's that? Near Nacogdoches. Not Nacogdoches. I don't know. Navasota.
Just gonna keep saying.
I'm just going to keep saying words until it comes to me. Anyways, they went up East Texas, so it's like a 2-hour drive. And just little short trips just to kick the tires. And like every
Right.
time they learn something new about it or learn how to do something differently. But he has a full checklist of like, here's everything I got to do
oh man,
to
I
make
have
it go.
a friend who's a safety person by trade. Like,
Ah.
that's what he does. He's a
yeah.
safety guy, and he sent us his RV list, his checklist. It's like 20 pages. So
With pictures
yes,
and
That
we're
is-
gonna
diagrams.
scale it down.
That
I
is
mean, I
preparedness.
definitely think it's important to have a checklist so you don't pull out and rip off the slide
Yes.
or something because
Sure.
you forgot to put it in. But I don't think I need a 20-page checklist.
No, I don't think
And
anybody.
hopefully he never hears this because
That's amazing.
so.
So the other thing we like to always cover, the one thing we do, like I told you, we don't script any of these, but we always do like to ask people, are you familiar with our why exercise that we do? You've done it with us before, I believe.
I mean, the wine action coins?
Yeah,
or-
things
yes.
like that.
Mhm.
So it comes from our, why we exist as an organization, why we exist as employees, and less a justification of our own positions and more an understanding about why a person sits in the seat that they do, the thing that gets them up and moving every day. And so I'm always curious when we have people on to hear their why. So what gets you up every day? You've been here for 6 years now?
No,
No.
not nearly that long. Just shy of 4 years. Actually, it'll be
wow.
4 years in September,
Okay.
October.
So
not a long time.
but I mean,
But
City of Pearland years, kind of a long time.
Yeah.
But so what's the thing that gets you going every day? What gets you up and
the firefighters and the people on the shift and taking care of the citizens. I mean, like I said, I feel like if I don't take care of our employees, then we can't take care of the citizens.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's the people. I mean, they're just. It's going to sound like a plug, but I've worked for 2 other city fire departments, and was affiliated with another organization for a long time. I didn't work there full time, but part time, and. I mean, the people here are just, they love what they do. I mean, and they have some of the best attitudes. And even when things are hard and, it's a busy day and we're not getting any sleep, I mean, they make it fun. And so, yeah. I mean, every night when I go to bed before I'm coming to shift, I set my alarm for 4 o'clock and I go,
yeah.
But then,
Totally natural reaction.
yeah, but then I walk in the door and I'm like, hey,
Change,
yeah, I'm just happy to be here. So.
I mean, you probably won't be surprised by this, but that's a response we get a lot.
Yeah.
And it's always fascinating to me because, we are a people organization, but we care so much about each other, and so much of that comes through in what we do every day.
But I think it starts at the top. I mean, I'm kind of not surprised, right? Like
Sure.
So I retired from Missouri City previously before I came here, and when Pearland Fire Department was going full time and making the transition of the merger with EMS and fire and stuff,
Right.
a lot of the founding members, if you will, had come from Missouri City, and so some used to work for me, and so I kind of kept up with what was going on in Pearland, and I thought I knew Pearland, but I remember even way back then them saying, we have a great city manager, we have a great council, they care about us, and so I really think that you see that trickle down,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's very unique.
Well, and it's it's an easy thing to lose quickly. We talk a lot about from a culture perspective, articulating that and being intentional about it, so that we're reinforcing those attitudes and behaviors, and so we don't, because it's so delicate. And I mean, we have been really fortunate in a lot of ways to have people that are candid in their responses,
Yep.
passionate about what they do, and dedicated. I mean, there's some people here that their minds probably aren't right because they're so dedicated to each other and to the work, and it's so inspiring to see, and it makes our jobs easier because telling those stories, it's just so heartwarming.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, we thank you for coming and being silly with us. Sorry if we
absolutely.
intimidated you at all.
It was a lot more pleasant than I thought it would be. So.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad it wasn't stressful. Joe, you got anything? Any wise words to
Wise
impart
words?
us
Oh,
with?
I don't. Not this time. But I appreciate it. This was a really, really fun conversation. I'm
Yeah.
glad we're back in it. I'm glad
Yeah,
to
same.
get this going
And
again.
now I want to
so.
go hike Paladero.
Right?
I
Yeah,
do
now I
too.
need to go find a hiking
Well,
trail.
thank you for thinking of me, and thank
Yeah.
you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, we will see y'all next time.